Imagine you're standing alone on a train platform at 2 in the morning. No trains are scheduled, no passengers are waiting, no staff are on duty. And yet, you suddenly hear footsteps, slow, heavy, approaching from behind. You turn around. No one is there. But according to witnesses across Canada, this exact thing has happened countless times. Tonight we're exploring 10 railway locations where travelers, workers, security guards, and paranormal investigators claim they encountered something they couldn't explain. A murdered telegraph operator who may still be working his final shift. A ghost train that appears on tracks that no longer exist. A tunnel where visitors claim they are watched by unseen eyes. And one station where security guards repeatedly reported seeing a mysterious woman who vanishes the moment they get close. But among all 10 locations, one place stands out. A place so disturbing that even experienced employees refused to walk certain corridors alone at night. We'll reveal that location later in this video, and trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because some of these stories become harder to explain the deeper you look. Turn off the lights, lock the doors, and let's begin. Number 10, Kiosk Station Ghost Town, Ontario. Most haunted places begin with tragedy. Kiosk began with disappearance. Deep within Ontario's wilderness once stood a thriving railway community. Families lived here, children played here, workers built their lives here, and everyday trains arrived carrying people, supplies, and hope. Then everything changed. As industries declined and the railway's importance faded, residents slowly left. Businesses closed. Homes were abandoned. Eventually, the community itself vanished. Today, little remains. Trees have reclaimed much of the area. Nature has swallowed what civilization left behind. And that's where the stories begin. Visitors describe a strange feeling when walking through the former railway settlement. An overwhelming silence, a sensation of being watched, the unsettling impression that they are not alone. Some claim they've heard distant sounds resembling railway activity. Metallic clanks, faint whistles, footsteps. Even though the railway era here ended long ago, skeptics argue that the isolation naturally heightens fear. And they're probably right. But many visitors describe something more difficult to explain. An atmosphere unlike anywhere else. As if the town itself never fully accepted its own death. Perhaps the spirits aren't trapped here. Perhaps it's the memories. And sometimes, memories can be just as terrifying. Number 9, Winnipeg Union Station, Manitoba. During the golden age of rail travel, Winnipeg Union Station was one of Canada's busiest transportation hubs. Thousands passed through its halls every day. Immigrants, soldiers, travelers, workers, people arriving, people leaving, people saying goodbye forever. Buildings like this absorb stories, and according to local legends, some stories never leave. While Union Station lacks the dramatic murder tales found elsewhere on this list, ghost tour guides and paranormal enthusiasts frequently mention its unusual atmosphere. Late at night, workers have reported strange sensations, unexplained noises echoing through empty areas, sudden cold spots, and the eerie feeling that someone is standing just behind them. Yet when they turn around, nothing is there. Perhaps it's merely the building settling, or perhaps decades of human emotion left something behind, a lingering imprint, a shadow of the countless lives that once crossed these platforms. And if that's true, who knows how many invisible passengers still remain. Number 8, Old CPR Station, New Westminster, British Columbia. By daylight, the old CPR station looks beautiful, historic, elegant, a reminder of another era, but many haunted locations look harmless in the sunlight. This station dates back to 1899. More than a century of history. More than a century of arrivals and departures, and more than enough time for legends to form. New Westminster is already considered one of British Columbia's most haunted cities. Ghost tours regularly highlight the station as part of the area's supernatural history. Visitors occasionally describe strange feelings while inside, the sensation of being observed, unexplained movements seen from the corner of the eye. The unmistakable impression that someone is standing nearby, only to discover no one is there. No single story explains the haunting. No single tragedy defines it. Instead, the station's reputation comes from accumulation. Decades becoming centuries. History layering upon history. And perhaps some things were buried beneath those layers. Things that still refuse to leave. Number 7. Ottawa Union Station, Ontario. Most haunted places have dark histories, but Ottawa Union Station has something different, a shadow hanging over it before it even opened. In 1912, this magnificent railway station was unveiled as one of Canada's grandest transportation hubs. But only weeks before its opening, a disaster shocked the world, the sinking of the Titanic. Among those who perished was Charles Melville Hayes, one of the most powerful railway executives in North America, and the man expected to attend the station's opening ceremony. Instead of celebrating the station's future, many found themselves mourning a man who never arrived. Over the decades, rumors began to spread, strange sounds echoing through quiet corridors, the feeling of being watched while walking alone, footsteps with no visible source, and whispers that seemed to disappear the moment someone tried to follow them. Some believe these stories are connected to the station's railway past, while others wonder whether tragedy left a deeper mark. Because sometimes history doesn't stay buried. Sometimes it keeps waiting for the train that never comes. Number 6. Shepherd Station, Calgary, Alberta. At first glance, Shepherd Station doesn't look frightening. In fact, it looks peaceful. Preserved inside Calgary's Heritage Park, it appears frozen in time, a glimpse into Canada's railway past. But appearances can be deceiving, especially after dark. When the crowds leave, when the lights grow dim, and when silence settles over the park, that's when the stories begin. Ghost tours have long included Shepherd Station among their most intriguing stops. Visitors frequently describe unusual feelings, sudden chills, an overwhelming sense of presence, the strange sensation that someone is standing nearby, watching, waiting, listening. Many paranormal enthusiasts believe old transportation hubs retain emotional energy. Think about it. Thousands of people arrived here, thousands departed, some leaving loved ones forever, some chasing uncertain futures, some never returning home. If emotions leave traces behind, few places would contain more of them than a railway station. And perhaps that's why so many people claim Shepherd Station feels alive, even when it's completely empty. Number 5. The St. Louis Ghost Train, Saskatchewan. What if you saw a train coming toward you on tracks that no longer exist? For more than a century, people near St. Louis, Saskatchewan have reported witnessing a mysterious light, a bright white glow appearing in the darkness, moving exactly where railway tracks once ran. The strange part? Those tracks were removed years ago, yet witnesses continue reporting the same phenomenon. Some describe it as a locomotive headlight, while others claim it changes brightness and color. Many say it appears to move closer before suddenly vanishing. Local legends offer chilling explanations. One story claims the light belongs to a railway worker who lost his head in a tragic accident. According to the legend, his spirit still searches the tracks carrying a lantern, night after night, year after year, decade after decade. Scientists have proposed explanations involving distant vehicle headlights and atmospheric effects, but believers remain unconvinced because some sightings reportedly occurred long before modern highways existed nearby. So, what are people actually seeing? A natural illusion? A trick of light? Or a train that never stopped running? We'll let you decide. Number 4. The Blue Ghost Tunnel, Thorold, Ontario. If there is one location on this list capable of making even skeptics uncomfortable, it's this one. Hidden beneath Ontario's landscape lies an abandoned railway tunnel known as the Blue Ghost Tunnel. Even the name sounds cursed. The tunnel opened in the 19th century and once carried trains through the region. Then tragedy struck. In 1903, 2 trains collided nearby. Several railway workers suffered devastating injuries. 2 firemen later died. The accident became part of local history and eventually part of local legend. Today the tunnel sits abandoned, dark, silent, forgotten, at least by the living. Visitors describe an overwhelming sense of dread, strange lights appearing inside the darkness, unexplained sounds echoing through the tunnel, and shadowy figures glimpsed ahead, only to disappear when approached. Some paranormal investigators claim electronic equipment behaves strangely inside. Others report feeling watched from deep within the tunnel, as though something is waiting beyond the reach of their flashlight. But perhaps the most unsettling part is this. Many visitors report feeling perfectly normal outside, then suddenly experiencing intense anxiety the moment they enter, as though the tunnel itself doesn't want them there. And if that isn't unsettling enough, our next location may be even worse. Number 3. Macadam Railway Station, New Brunswick. By day, Macadam Railway Station is honestly breathtaking. Beautiful architecture, historic charm, it's really a reminder of a golden age of rail travel. But, beneath all that beauty lies one of Canada's most disturbing collections of ghost stories. Unlike a lot of places where just one tragedy fuels the legends, Macadam seems to have, accumulated them, over and over, for generations. Stories speak of murder, heartbreak, suicide, lost children, and unexplained deaths, all connected to the station's long history. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps in empty rooms, doors opening without any explanation, and cold spots suddenly appearing in otherwise warm areas. Some people even describe feeling an invisible presence standing right beside them, while others claim they've seen figures watching from the windows, only to discover, nobody was there. One especially chilling part of the station's reputation is just how often different witnesses describe, really similar experiences, different people, different years, different circumstances, yet strangely similar stories. Is it just coincidence? Possibly. But the consistency is what has kept the station's haunted reputation alive for decades, and now we've arrived at the location that many Canadians consider the most tragic railway haunting on this list, the station where one man's final shift may never have ended. Number 2. Whitby Junction Station, Ontario, December 11th. It was a quiet winter night. 21-year-old telegraph operator William Billy Stone was working alone. It should have been just an ordinary shift. Instead, it became his last. Sometime during the night, Billy was shot. Despite his injuries, he reportedly managed to call for help, but it just wasn't enough. He died from the wound. His killer was never identified. The crime, honestly, remains unsolved to this day, and that's where the haunting begins. Over the years, countless stories have emerged from the station. Many claim Billy never truly left. Visitors have reported sensing a presence nearby. Some say they've seen a young man moving through the building. Others describe hearing unexplained sounds late at night. Paranormal investigators keep coming back, hoping to uncover evidence. But maybe the most unsettling detail isn't the ghost story itself. It's the fact that no one knows who killed him. More than a century later, the mystery is still unsolved. And maybe that's exactly why the story refuses to die. Because, some questions demand answers, even after death. Number 1. Waterfront Station, Vancouver, British Columbia. If you've watched this far, you've reached the station that so many consider Canada's most haunted railway location, Waterfront Station, a place where ghost stories just refuse to disappear. Built in the early 20th century, the station became one of Canada's busiest transportation hubs. Millions of people have passed through its doors, but according to countless reports, not all of them left. Security guards, employees, commuters, maintenance workers. So many have shared remarkably similar stories. Footsteps echoing through empty corridors, doors moving without explanation, shadowy figures appearing briefly before vanishing. One of the most famous legends involves a woman dressed in clothing from another era. Witnesses claim she appears unexpectedly, standing alone, just watching. Sometimes she's sitting quietly on a bench, and then, without warning, she disappears. Others tell stories of a young woman dancing to music nobody else can hear. Some report seeing railway workers walking the station late at night, only to realize those workers don't actually exist. What makes Waterfront Station so fascinating is the sheer number of reports. Not just one story, not even two, but decades of claims from people who never even knew each other. And whether you believe them or not, one fact remains. The station continues to generate new stories even today. Which, honestly, raises a pretty disturbing possibility. What if the ghosts aren't tied to a single tragedy? What if they're tied to the station itself? A place that's witnessed millions of arrivals, millions of departures, and, well, countless final goodbyes. Maybe some passengers simply missed their train, and maybe they're still waiting. So, which of these haunted railway locations disturbed you the most? Was it the murdered telegraph operator of Whitby Junction, the mysterious light of the St. Louis ghost train, the terrifying darkness of the Blue Ghost Tunnel, or the countless ghostly encounters reported at Waterfront Station? Let us know in the comments below. And here's a question for you. If you had to spend one entire night alone in one of these locations, which would you choose? And maybe even more importantly, which one would you just flat out refuse to enter? If you enjoyed this journey into Canada's most haunted railway locations, don't forget to subscribe to Shadow Whispers and turn on notifications. Because every week, we uncover new haunted places, new paranormal mysteries, and new stories that honestly blur the line between history and horror. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, sometimes the last train never leaves the station.